By virtue of notching 6 professional wins by the age of 24, Viktor Hovland has quickly risen in the official world golf rankings to number 6. But is his swing something you should try to copy, or should coaches try to coach? Is it downright ugly, or just really pure? Well, right after this, let's talk about it. When you first look at Viktor Hovland's swing, it's really a laundry list of unorthodox moves and positions. Let's take a look at a few of them. First, you're going to see the hand swing more to the inside than most guys on tour, more inside than most people would coach. You also see the club face is super duper shut at this point. Now moving to the top of the swing, you can see that he's got way across the line and has a really close club face. Now, most amateur golfers from this position would come at it way too far from the inside and just hit sling hooks and hit it fat all day. But watch as he comes back down how the club starts falling neatly back in front of him. You can see it's taken a much, much different path, the handle has, starting down than he traced going back, which was kind of more of an inside and up move. But now he's going to just kind of drop the club handle towards the ball back in front of him again, and that's causing with the accompaniment of the rear end staying back, that really drops the club starting into a very shallow position. You're also seeing the left wrist going into quite a bowed position here too. So really what's happening here is you're taking a backswing and top of swing position that you could argue are out of position compared to a lot of great swings. Like just compare that to Tiger's swing, for example. But he's recovering very fast as he gets into the slot because of what he's doing through the impact zone. He's kind of filtering himself back into a really good position. So here as he comes into impact, you're going to see the next 3 frames are going to be what is the magic here. You see the club face is coming in on a really good path and square to the arc. And this frame is incredibly impressive. Look at the club face, just so square to the target there. And watch the next frame. The club face is simply tracking square to the arc. So these delivery frames here that we're looking at, the club face just doesn't have very much rotation at all to it. And this is going to enable him to hit a lot of straight shots. Of course, he is super powerful as well. Now you watch the handle of the club is exiting just above the belt buckle. This is also really key to keeping the club face tracking square to the arc. So although he looks kind of upright at the top, he ends up being very shallow through the delivery zone. Watch this club exit now. It's going to exit at elbow level. And look at the club face pointing right back at us rather than looking twisted toe down like a lot of people out there are looking. That means that you've twisted the shaft quite a bit through the impact zone, and he might have the least amount of club shaft twist through the downswing and impact as just about anybody out there. Even his finish goes back to looking a bit unorthodox again. You can see the right foot's a little bit over-rotated. Left leg looks a little stiff. Hips look a little stiff. Doesn't look super duper athletic. Now let's look at the driver's swing. The driver's swing, we're going to see the same kind of stuff here. Way to the inside. Look at how inside that club head is at first parallel. He's really going to the inside and then kind of lifting the arms at the end of the swing. And again, you can see how close the club face is, pointing straight up to the sky here as it's well across the line to the right. Again, most golfers would not be able to find good shots from here consistently. This is not the position out of the textbook that someone might coach. But from here down, he starts the recovery phase. Look at that bowed left wrist. Club dropping into the slot beautifully. Look at that now. So all of a sudden, he's back in pretty good shape. And then because the handle path is moving so hard left at this point, that club head tumbles out to the outside of the hands. And look at this coming into impact. That frame right there. How can you beat that? Just perfect path, perfect handle path. And the club face just tracking. Look at that. The toe of the club just simply has no rollover here. Same thing here, coming out at elbow level. Again, with the club face staying square to the arc. And he is releasing the crap out of it. Look at that right wrist in the flapped position. So this is what I recommend you do also, is flap, but don't flip the toe over. That's what you're going to give you power, club head speed, while keeping the face more square to the arc. Let's take one more look at the face-on angle, and we find some more unorthodoxies here. So certainly, it's not in the textbook to let the head sway to the right this much. Let's draw a little circle around his original head position here. And you can see he's going to go outside that by a full head width. Well, that's not exactly something in the book or something you would teach someone to do. Jack Nicklaus would always have Jack Grout hold his head. One of his big axioms was to keep his head steady as he took his backswing. And one other thing you can see from the face-on angle that isn't exactly pretty, watch the bend in the left arm. Incredible amount of bend in the left arm. Look at that. So you chicken wings out there, rejoice. You could still play on the PGA Tour with the move you're making. So unbelievable. Look at that chicken winging that he's doing. Good rotation, though, of the chest through the ball. And that's what really keeps it from being an out-of-control chicken wing. You see now eventually the outward-seeking forces from the throw and the rotation of the body finally win and straighten the arms out. One last thing that I wouldn't recommend is letting the heel of the back foot swing around behind the big toe, kind of like baseball style a little bit. I like the heel to go slightly in front, and it's kind of revolving around like putting out a cigarette butt. So again, a lot of stuff that an uneducated coach might maybe try to fix. But again, go back to the iron swing and the frames through the impact zone are just so good. He's got a good shot at being #1 in the world someday. So Viktor's motion through delivery ensures that the club face is going to stay square to the arc it's traveling on. So you're not going to see him here with the toe up, but it's going to be square to the arc here. You notice that puts a little bit of a bow into my left wrist here. So he's coming through, and now with the handle exiting to the left already. See, right here at this point, the handle's going to be as close to the target line as it's going to get, and then it needs to start retreating already back into the left, and that's what's bringing this club head around the arc square, square to the arc, square to the arc, square to the arc, just like that. So having control over the club face has got to be one of the top 3 things that you can possibly do with your golf game to shoot low scores. All right, let's see if I can mirror. I'll do a real small shot and see if I can mirror this Viktor Hovland impact zone, just like this, and around to there. Let's take a look. So the lesson we should take away from watching Viktor Hovland swing in slow motion is that we shouldn't fixate on some of our small errors in the backswing or the club face or the club going across the line a little at the top, things like that. But instead we should focus most of our energy in making sure that we're really solid through the delivery zone so that the club face has the least amount of rotation possible. The path is very straight, and the hand path is exiting left after impact, just like this. You get this right, and you can play some good golf despite looking a little bit unorthodox in other places of the swing. So what are your thoughts on Viktor Hovland's swing? Do you think it's ugly, or is it really pure? Leave it in the comments down below. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.